they think that they're able to figure out the best interest for products. And honestly, the winning interest for this product would have been something that I would have never guessed. Hey guys, how you guys doing? So this product right here that did around 180K revenue, basically started from this testing campaign that I started on July 31st. And it took me a couple of days to go ahead and make it profitable. And a lot of people have issues getting out of the testing campaign. Hopefully this case study gives you more insight on what the testing campaign is and how you can utilize it to actually scale up. Because a majority of people would have killed it around this mark right here after not getting results for a second and third day. But I kept at it, and you're gonna see how I did it. And eventually, you know, even after a couple of days, I'm still not doing that good. Eventually it did scale up. So it actually took me around 4 or 5 days in the testing campaign in order for me to scale it up. There are some mistakes and risks that I took that I want to go ahead and show you guys. But anyways, going to the testing campaign, I started it July 31st. This is actually when I first launched the product. As you can see right here, I spent around $102 and I got back $200 or almost $200, $191, 1.9 ROAS. The product's break even is 1.3, so I was actually really profitable. As you go into the testing campaign, sorted by spend, you can see I have 10 interests at $10, and all of these interests just basically make sense with what the product is. I didn't really think too hard about these interests. I basically just went ahead and chose one of these interests, launched it, clicked suggestions, and chose 9 interests that were similar to the original one. I didn't think too much about it, trust me. I didn't sit here and was like, what is the best interest for this product? A lot of people get hung up on that and they think that the interest is the most important part, which it is, but they think that they're able to figure out the best interest for products. And honestly, the winning interest for this product would have been something that I would have never guessed. It was straight up just from suggestions alone from Facebook. So I didn't think too hard about the interest, and you shouldn't either. But 10 interests at $10 each. And actually Facebook that day tracked it really well. It says 4 purchases. And right here, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 purchases. I know over here it says 3, but Shopify was just bugging out. And you can see I got 4 purchases, and Toddler actually got the 2 purchases. Now right here, I'm gonna do something that's really risky. It can work, but majority of times it's not. And what I did is I actually try to scale it up by CBOing it. Because it got 2 purchases, it's the minimum amount of purchase, 7 ROAS. So basically it meets the requirements in order to scale. Before I go ahead and show you that, let's go ahead and check off all these interests, because there's something that I actually did the next day that a lot of people watching might not do. The very next day, you can see all the ones I checked off are the interests the day before. I turned off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these interests because they did not give me any add to carts, no initiate checkouts, no purchases. I would say after $10 spend, if it doesn't show anything, I would go ahead and turn it off. Is it possible that these interests right here are winning interests? Sure, but you already spent $10 on it and didn't give you anything. So it's more efficient to go ahead and just turn some of these off. That's exactly what I did. But I actually added some new interests. So I added infant, I added Pampers, child, whatever. I just went ahead and added new interests related to the ones that were doing good, which is basically toddler. So all these interests right here were basically suggestions from toddler or maybe diaper or Montessori education. It's just interests that are similar to the ones that did get some buying pressure. Anyways, as you can see right here, I only spent $4 each ad set before I went ahead and turned it off. So the very next day, I actually didn't really do that good. One sale, I went ahead and turned it off because remember, I launched a toddler CBO. As you can see right here, toddler CBO. It also did not do too well. So I woke up, $82 spend, 1 sale, 1 add to cart. You know, like I was just like, all right, I'm not feeling it today. I went ahead and turned it off. Now, this advice can be taken to a lot of people because people assume once you put a budget on Facebook, you want to see it the entire way through. I'm here to tell you that you don't have to waste money like that. If it doesn't work after $82, it's probably not going to pick up for the rest of the day. So I actually go ahead and turn it off. The very next day, I went ahead and just left it on just to see what happens. Same thing again. $93 spent. The next day, I got 1 sale. Pretty bad. I went ahead and turned it off. As you can see, $100 CBO. I only spent half of it. I turned it off. And that's basically it. After 2 days of losses, I'm like, you know what? I did probably scale toddler too fast. I'm not going to go ahead and try to CBO it or continue with the CBO. And at this point, I believe it already spent like 80 bucks. Oh, $88.88. What a perfect number. But it already spent almost $90 and it got me no sales. So I'm not going to keep continuing to CBO, even though they really well on the first day. Could have just been lucky sales. So I'm done with that. So on August 3rd, I decided, let me go ahead and restart everything and do the testing campaign again. And as you can see, I got really good results, $251. Testing campaign, I spent $100. And basically, these were the interests in the testing campaign. Some of these have $20 spend. If you're gonna ask me why, it was because this is from the old testing campaign, and these did really, really well. And I kind of wanted a little bit more of accelerated spend on them. So I just put 20 bucks. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You put 10, it doesn't really matter. I put 20 because I think after doing this, it was like $50 spend, and I only had a few interest left, so I put $20. So I could basically get $100 a day. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. But as you can see, there's some new interests here that I never tested before. Baby Shop, Johnson's Baby, Student, like some of these I've never even tested before in the previous testing campaign. But yeah, that's fine. But it did really, really good that day. Unfortunately, Facebook didn't track everything. It said 2 sales. Obviously, that day got 1, 2, 3, 4 sales. It didn't track. But Montessori Education was the one that got the 2 sales again. And Montessori Education was also an asset that got sales before, as you can see, because it is part of the $20 daily. So I went ahead and just CBO'd it for the next day. So August 4th, the very next day, I have 1 CBO running for Montessori Education. And August 4th, I got back $125. I did not learn my lesson about CBOing too fast. As you can see, $125. I turned it off halfway in, probably around 2 p.m. because it didn't spend the entire budget. And that was basically it. Most people at this point would have been like, I'm done, I'm giving up, I'm done with this product. But the very next day, what happened was I just left it on. I didn't touch it again. CBOs, like I said, the first day might not do well. And basically, that's what happened with the Montessori Education. Actually, the second day didn't do well either because it only tracked 1 purchase, 0.67 ROAS, $100 spent. It didn't do well either. But a testing campaign, as you can see, 4 ROAS. That means a lot is happening in the testing campaign. Sorting by purchases, as you can see right now, powdered milk did really good. Montessori Education got another sale. Toddler got another sale. But for testing campaigns, you really want to go ahead and judge off of lifetime. So that's exactly what we're going to do. As you can see, the lifetime here, Montessori Education, powdered milk, learning, all of these got really, really good ROASs and at least 2 purchases. So I basically thought to myself, it's fine. This product still works in a testing campaign still. So it should eventually work in a CBO. I basically kept going with this product. So for August 6th, amount spent, as you can see, now I have CBOs for toddler and powdered milk because those also got 2 purchases in the testing campaign along with Montessori Education. As you can see for August 6th, let's go ahead and go to that. Actually, I completely forgot to show you August 5th. So August 5th, let's go back to August 5th actually. So August 5th, $169 in spend. A majority of the sales basically came from the testing campaign. $426. Obviously, it tracked majority of it. 5 purchases. The other missing purchase may have came from Montessori, I don't know. But definitely check your UTM. Anyways, the next day, because a lot of these ad sets had 2+ in purchases, I went ahead and CBO'd a lot of them. Toddler, Montessori Education has already been CBO'd. Powdered milk. All of these have been CBO'd now. August 6th, going to August 6th, we are basically out of the testing campaign. We are now scaling. $900 in revenue, and I spent $386 to get it back. 2+ ROAS is really, really good for a 1.3 break-even product. So we're really, really profitable that day. Anyways, I don't think much happens after this, after testing campaign. I believe 1 more ended up getting out of it. So let's go ahead and do lifetime from 1 to 7 purchases. It seems like learning was the one that got the most ROAS, also 3 purchases. And I believe learning actually becomes a CBO as well. So you can see L, I put L, but it's actually learning, as you can see. Learning becomes a CBO as well at $100 the next day. And that's pretty much it. That's how I got out of the testing campaign. And some takeaways would be, number 1, go ahead and turn off testing campaigns halfway through the day. If it's not performing, just save your money, turn it off, save for CBOs. Number 2, you want to go ahead and turn off ad sets at $10 a day that already spent $10 and didn't really give you any add to carts, no initiate checkouts, no sales. Go ahead and turn it off and replace them with interests that relate to your specific product. Because if you want to go ahead and check the very first day, I didn't have a lot of these ad sets. Going into the testing campaign, as you can see right here, remember my winning assets was learning, toddler, Montessori Education, and powdered milk. The first day I tested this, I only tested toddler and Montessori Education that made sense. Now the ones that I've turned off right here, they could have been winners, but I didn't want to go ahead and take that chance because they already spent 10 bucks and didn't really give me any results. If you wanted to go ahead and test these interests that I turned off later on, when you are profitable, you definitely can. But in the beginning, you want to be optimized and efficient with your spending. That's why I turned these off. But anyways, because going here, you can see I only had 2 of the 4 winning interests that I ended up CBOing. If I never ever introduced new interest to it, I would have never tested powdered milk, and I would have never tested learning. And those interests are actually suggestions from Montessori Education and Toddler, one from each. I'm pretty sure learning was from Montessori Education, and Toddler suggested powdered milk. That's basically it. That's how this product got out of the testing campaign. That's actually the hardest part, is finding the products and actually getting out of the testing campaign. The scaling campaigns I'm going to show you in the next video. Really easy on how I go ahead and scaled it. It's also very easy to scale it because you really look at the ROASes, but I'll talk about that more next video. These are the hardest parts, product research and getting out of the testing campaign. And it's exactly what we did, because as you can see, every single day after that, it's just higher and higher. This is 1.9K, 2.8K, 3.8K. Eventually I just went ahead and cruised right here, 5.3. I just kept scaling after that because it was easy scaling. The hardest part was the testing campaign. Anyways, hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you guys get how your testing campaign soon, because scaling is really easy. And if you do, I'll see you in the next video, which talks about how I went ahead and scaled this store to 5K a day and basically just cruised there for a while. Until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. So peace out.